What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we've got some weekly Destiny 2 updates and a breakdown for the reset this Tuesday, September the 12th. And so, we've got a few things going on this week. We've got the 4th weekly reset, of course new weekly challenges, as well as a refresh on the season activities and upgrades. Of course though, the season story quest continues, so we'll get some new steps there, as well as a refresh on Crota's End. And finally, the launch of Grandmaster Nightfalls for the season. So we'll cover that, as well as the refreshed exotic mission rotator, featured activities, playlist modes, and primary reward drops for the week. So we'll break down pretty much everything to know about what's happening in the game this reset. And as always, I hope you find the video useful. Before we get into it today though, do you take your online security seriously? Well, you should, because we're all spending a lot of time online these days, whether it's gaming, browsing, or shopping. There are lots of opportunities for bad guys, trolls, or straight up thieves to mess up our day. But you're in luck because this video is sponsored by NordVPN. And Nord is the premier global VPN option, creating a virtual location for our devices, which protects us against DDoS attacks, which can disrupt our connections when gaming, which of course sucks, but it can also open us up to more serious security threats across both private and public networks. And that's why Nord is more than just a VPN. It also features a dedicated suite of bonus threat protection tools to secure against phishing, where bad guys attempt to steal passwords, or malware such as viruses on our devices. Plus it has features like the data breach scanner, which can scan the web to see if your sensitive info may have been accessed by hackers or other non-desirable entities on the dark web, for instance. Even if you're careful online, there's always that small risk that your personal info could be accessed or that online trolls might ruin your experience. So let's take action right now. At the moment, you can shore up your defenses and unlock a 2-year NordVPN plan with 4 bonus months for free by heading to nordvpn.com/xhoundishx. And yes, you heard me right, 4 months extra for free with my link down below. It's a great deal that gives you access to the most powerful VPN and security tool around. So be sure not to miss out on that, and thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring the video. Now though, as we get into the weekly refresh for Destiny 2, we'll see a reset on Seventh and Spire and the Altars of Summoning, plus we'll get new quest steps for the primary season quests. So a quick preview of those. In typical form, we'll need to visit the holoprojector in the Helm, and then attune with an element at Eris Morn's ritual table, before completing patrols in Savathun's throne world and defeating combatants using the selected elemental damage type. And then we'll once again need to attune with the Hive elemental runes in lost sectors of Savathun's throne world, and that's followed by a catch-up with Akora at the Plunge dive tank, which can be accessed via the western wing of the Helm. So that'll be an interesting story component for the week, but finally, we need to visit the holoprojector in the Helm, and as always, visit the radio in the Helm. So there'll be plenty of dialogue steps this week, but we're certainly brewing up for a couple of interesting story weeks, so keep an eye out for that. On top of that, we'll get new major arcana quests and cards available, and then we get on to this week's seasonal challenges. So initially, there is Acolyte's Ascent 4 to complete week 4 of the Bladed Path quest. And then we have Forgotten Power to complete a powerful encounter in the Altars of Summoning and defeat combatants using the damage type that matches the subclass. Additionally, there's Luminary 2 to master the light by defeating combatants with Void, Arc, or Solar damage, and we'll get bonus progress by affecting combatants with subclass abilities. And then there is Bounty Conjurer to complete daily bounties during the Season of the Witch. Last Rites, where we need to get ability final blows in Season of the Witch activities. And then there is Grandmaster to complete any Nightfall strike on Grandmaster difficulty. And finally, Calibrate Close Range to get kills with sidearms, SMGs, shotguns, glaives, and swords, with bonus progress for defeating Guardians. So those are the weekly challenges, and of course they tip us off that we'll get the return of Grandmaster Nightfalls. That should be a featured Grandmaster as opposed to the catch-up node, so the featured Nightfall activity for the week will be Heist Battleground on Europa. That'll certainly be interesting to try out in a Nightfall. But in terms of the exact featured weapon, we'll have to wait and see, as the full rotation hasn't yet been revealed. The exotic mission rotator will refresh though, and will reset back to the start, so Presage will be the featured activity this week. Of course, from there we can get Dead Man's Tale, which is now craftable, and seasonal weapons from back in Season of the Haunted, like Nezarek's Whisper, Bump in the Night, Tears of Contrition, Hollow Denial, Firefright, and Without Remorse. Plus there'll be the opulent weapons Ostringer, Drang Baroque, Beloved, the Callous Mini Tool, and also the Eidolon Pursuant armor set will be available in that activity as well. And then as we head over to the Crucible, Supremacy and Momentum Control will be featured this week, Plus, we'll see the return of Trials at the weekend with Friday's daily reset, where Bungie have confirmed that Igneous Hammer will be the featured weapon. So, of course, it got a couple of new perk options for this season. And in the first trade slot, it can roll Encore, Rapid Hit, Keep Away, as well as Heal Clip, Rangefinder, Fragile Focus, and Slick Draw. Then in the second trade slot, it's now able to get Eye of the Storm, Opening Shot, Incandescent, Moving Target, and then Precision Instrument, as well as Golden Tricorn and Frenzy. So let us know if you'll be jumping in to hunt down an Igneous Hammer with Trials returning this weekend. However, onto the raid and dungeon rotation, this week we'll see the Vault of Glass for the featured raid, as well as the Shattered Throne in the Dreaming City, and both of these will drop their unique items with updated power relevancy. Plus, in the Root of Nightmares, we'll get the Illuminated Torment challenge this week, and Mikkel's Reverence will be the featured weapon drop. As always though, when it comes to the Eververse store for the week, I'll keep you posted with the vendor reset on Tuesday. But for the featured Lost Sectors this week, initially, on Tuesday we'll get Exodus Garden 2A dropping exotic helmets. That'll be followed by Sepulture on September 13th dropping exotic legs, Extraction on September 14th dropping exotic arms, and then for the 15th we'll get Metamorphosis dropping exotic chest pieces. September 16th will be K1 Revelation dropping helmets, and then we'll get leg drops from K1 Communion on the 17th, and finally, Gauntlet drops from K1 Crew Quarters on the 18th. But if you are jumping into the Dares of Eternity, on top of the main reward drops, we'll see Rotation 1 loot drops for additional drops, which includes the Scatterhorn armor set and the Wild Hunt armor, plus some world drops from Forsaken and Season of the Hunt. But very finally, if you are jumping into the Ascendant Challenge this week, it'll be the Agonarch Abyss, which can be found via the Bay of Drowned Wishes right next to the Dreaming City spawn, so a very easy one to find. But I'll run some gameplay showing the location and collectibles at the end of the video. And for today guys, that is what we have to round up for the weekly reset. No doubt that on top of the reset, we'll get some additional news updates and things like that from Bungie, so as always, I'll keep you posted on that stuff and be sure to get subscribed to the channel if you want to see more content. If you've enjoyed this video though, a rating below really does help us out, and let us know what you plan to do when you dive into the game this reset. Otherwise though, as always, I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.
The current. You're so deep into the well.
Guardian down.